was synced on my end.
Okay.
If the last one is anything to go by, it should be fine.
All right. That's cool.
Yep.
So, this is Salt Circle Podcast. I'm Hank, and with me is Ben.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to...
Go on. Do the intro.
This week we're going to talk about Rick and Morty, since Season 3 just ended, and we're both fully caught up. So,
I had to really hold back just starting with Pickle Rick, but I don't want to be that guy, because I don't like that guy that much.
Yeah, I'm really sick of that as a meme.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad, like, before the episode. Then I was, like, okay with it after the episode. Then, like, a day later, I was back against it.
Yep. No, 100%.
Yeah, so I thought at first we'll just talk about, like, how we got into Rick and Morty and some general thoughts before going balls deep into spoilers.
Okay.
Just as,
that sounds
if there's
good.
someone who just general Rick and Morty thoughts, we'll get those out of the way first.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'll start with you. How did you get into Rick and Morty?
I don't even remember at this point. I don't even think it was a suggestion from anybody, unless I'm completely misremembering. I know it was one that me and Peter went through together initially. By the time
Gotcha.
we
Where how much was out by the time you started?
Both the two seasons were like entirely
All right, same.
because we got through the whole thing, and then you hit that end and it's like, oh, it's gonna be like a year and a half or 2 years or whatever, and we're like, shit, you know what, they're probably serious. This seems like the type of show where they're just gonna actually take 2 years. And they did. But yeah, we went through that together, and it was fun, like, getting to watch it with someone, because we had all of those like fuck moments.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'll be right back. My air conditioner is being loud.
Oh, that's just a 10 out of 10. This is the time for a Bruce joke right here. Unfortunately, not well versed in chemistry. Also, don't know enough about amusement parks, so I can't put together clever molecules shaped like Ferris wheels. But the thought is there. We'll work on it for next time when I'm left alone to entertain the groups of nobody. Well, nobody being myself, I assume. Oh,
Real professional.
yeah. When did you get back?
Just now, actually. I had to take off my headset, so you could have said whatever you wanted, and I would not know.
Oh, I mean, I was
Unless
talking
I
shit
listen
the whole
later.
time. Yeah, you're gonna have to listen later.
Yeah.
You missed some good bits. Highlighted
Nice.
the episode.
So the way I got into Rick and Morty was much dumber.
Sounds,
Or I guess dumber
right.
than, like, just having to watch a show, is because I got into it because of the Rick and Morty announcer pack in Dota 2.
Oh.
So
my
I have Dota
God.
2 to thank for me getting into Rick and Morty.
Unreal.
So I had kind of no interest, but then I was playing with someone who had it, and I was listening to it, and was like, I really like the back and forth between these characters. This is a good dynamic. I could watch a show about this. And I did, and it was good.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Dota 2, man. That's where it's at.
Man, now I'm really concerned, like, thinking about it. Now I'm concerned that someone did suggest it to me and that I'm forgetting it, and I hate being on the other end of that. Like, occasionally I will suggest stuff to someone. I'll be like, yo, you should check this out. And they'll watch it, or they'll listen to it, or they'll play it, whatever. And they like it. And then, I don't know, 4 months later, everyone's in a group discussing it, and said person is like, oh yeah, I got into this and it was so awesome. I'm like, yeah, that was real cool when I made you watch the first episode. And they're like, no, I like randomly saw one before. I'm like, okay, fucker. Like, this conversation is all me right now. Just happened recently with BoJack Horseman, so I'm a little salty about it.
Nice. You've become the thing you hate.
Yep.
Did you ever watch any Community?
Yes.
Okay. I only watched a very little bit. I never super got into that show.
That's also
Dan Harmon.
Right. I was trying to think it
Yeah.
was one or both of them.
I think Justin Roiland just had worked with him in other places. I don't remember if he worked on Community or
Yeah,
not.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Community was pretty good.
Yeah, it just was not ever something I got super into.
That's fair.
What I saw,
That's
I
fair.
enjoyed.
I don't know. I have never gone back through it, and I
Yeah.
don't know that it would hold up going back through it. We'll find out someday, I'm sure. But
Because the thing that I think really makes Rick and Morty, part of it is the contrast in like styles between Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon. Like Dan Harmon's all about the story circle, like the hero's journey, like very plotted, specific structure, and Justin Roiland is about fucking garbage nonsense.
yep. And see, that's like there is I mean, I'm sure it's become more of a meme at this point. Like someone, I forget if that was Reddit or Twitter. At any rate, it was pointed out that like the original circle jerk was Rick and Morty is fantastic, and then like this kind of secondary circle jerk was Rick and Morty is like Big Bang Theory but good. Like it's smart humor for smart people, and now it's to the point where it's like watching Rick and Morty doesn't make you smart, and it doesn't mean that you have deep understandings of philosophical concepts. Like wubba lubba dub dub is not like a symbolic nihilist phrase. Like it's I've
Fan bases ruin everything.
Yep.
Fan bases
essentially.
ruin everything. They're the
And
worst.
It's not
Nothing
even
should be popular.
something- I don't know. I've never been the person to like analyze shows in that way necessarily. Like, yeah, occasionally you have the thing that is thrown in your face that says, let's make the audience contemplate life right now. And that, like, you know, there's that. But the amount of even my friend group that I hang out with, like in person and go out to eat with and stuff, we got talking about Rick and Morty because it's a bunch of nerds, so it's not even a question of whether anyone's into it, just everyone is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a couple people started going off about how like it's deeply philosophical, like nihilism and living with it and all, and I'm just like, fucking pickle Rick and wubble. It's a medium to be it's just being ridiculous. Like it's doing what a cartoon should do, is like go off the rails, and they throw some feels in there now and again, which is nice. I don't think it's yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of talking about a show that's like, oh, I never want to watch this. That's like, I understand people who would say, I'm not going to watch Rick and Morty because I've talked to people who like Rick and Morty and they're the worst.
Yep.
Like that's totally a thing.
And
That said, I like the show. I think it's well written.
absolutely. Like I love this show. I think, yeah, I feel like maybe, I mean, we can get into that more later. I don't know how prevalent it was in season 1 and 2, but and then season 3, I think they ramped it up as far as that kind of. They know the joke. They know how their audience is going to react. There was a couple lines in season 3 where I'm like, yep, like they know exactly what they're doing right now, and it's great. And people are going to just go in with it.
Yeah, I think they were way more thoughtful about season 3.
Absolutely.
That was why it took so long, and I think they had way more. Apparently, they've had way more fights in the writers' room, just of like because they were taking it seriously, as opposed to apparently in previous seasons there were times where Justin Roiland had become like disenfranchised with the writing process and wasn't talking to anyone. Like there were weird things. Like I think the Meeseeks came out of that, of him just going, yeah, we could do something dumb, like I'm Mr. Meeseeks, and then they wrote a thing around that because it was a funny voice.
Yeah, basically.
My favorite is like there's that episode in season 2 that has like the weird vagina monsters at the end. And it's like that episode started with Justin Roiland putting that idea and saying, let's make an episode around this.
I think you're getting it confused with Big Mouth.
No, it's the weird vagina monsters that like put people into their vaginas and then take them out and like swing them around. It's fucking dumb.
It's amazing.
Nonsense. But it's like that stuff's funny, but you need structure for a TV show. That's why Dan Harmon is very important.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have the structure, it would just be dumb garbage. Instead of well-written, interesting, fun dumb garbage.
Yeah, you need a rigid skeleton for the bullshit to cling to.
You need an adult.
You need an adult. Oh man. Yeah, like I guess at this point I suppose I'm worried that it's going to like go in bad directions, which I suppose is swinging too much to seriousness and too much to craziness. Because they have a good balance right now.
Yeah. The thing that I know that they've swung away from, that they do it occasionally, is like specific references to stuff, like structuring your plot around. Like there's an episode that's basically Jurassic Park.
Yep.
But that's the kind of stuff that Dan Harmon's like has talked about. He's saying he doesn't like that he does, but somehow his shows always end up doing it. So,
Sure.
So there's like, the way I've heard them talk about it is you want to get to like the core idea of a thing. Like you don't want to just reference this show for the sake of referencing the show. You want to reference the show because there's an interesting idea there as like a sci-fi plot.
Yeah.
Like part of why I like that is like you think about it as a weird, like kind of like high science fiction, like the Twilight Zone or something. Like you have a premise for an episode, and you're sort of just using these characters to explore those ideas.
Yeah. No, yeah, I hear you. That's
it's a
good
because
summation.
I tried to think about a way to describe Rick and Morty that's like sensible and not just, oh, the show's amazing.
It's deeply philosophical, but also
No, it's like there's like thought put into it, but also it's dumb.
it's
jokes.
calculated.
Like,
It's calculated stupidity, kinda.
yeah,
Calculated craziness.
and it has these two characters who play off each other well. One is a idiot smart guy, and the other is a kid who's kind of will fight back for himself.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing apparently of like if you look at that terrible short that Justin Roiland made, Doc and Marty,
Oh
that,
yeah.
like originated the characters. Like one, it's
Yeah.
garbage, but it's like apparently the thing that's like flipped it and made Rick and Morty work and was like part of when they were developing the show, where they were getting notes that like I forget the guy at Adult Swim who just fucking hated Morty. The thing that made Morty was that he would fight back against Rick, which in all the early versions before they made the show, he never did.
Just took it.
He was
yeah.
he was just a punching bag. But like the key to the show is that Morty will go, "No, fuck you. This is
Yeah.
wrong."
Yep. Man, I remember in the pilot reading about how, I mean, if you watch the pilot, obviously, like Rick is just off the chain with like burping. And how like it made who does it? Is it Dan Harmon who does the voices?
Justin Roiland does the
Okay,
voices.
I was good. They're basically the same person in my mind, so like their
Yeah,
names are
that's fair.
interchangeable as far as I'm concerned.
Part of the reason I know all this background stuff is because I'm like almost more into the episode commentaries than the episodes, but
Sure.
I'll get to that later.
But just how like it almost made him sick, like having to burp that much.
I also heard him say he just kept doing it because it was the thing. Like it got past the point where he even found it funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't married to it. It was just the thing he kept doing because he had like sort of
Yeah,
part
it
of how
was-
he'd come up
it
with the character.
It was the bit. But yeah,
So,
they've toned it down, and I
They've
don't miss
100% toned it down.
I don't miss it at all.
No. Rick is much better when he's like completely out of his mind yelling or something than when he's like just drunk burping.
One thing, and this is, I can't really think. I mean, there's shows that it happens in. Certainly, I think Rick and Morty might be one of the the less great ones in recent times that I could think of. I find it hard to eat to. Like I can't. There are a lot of.
I have
episodes,
no problem eating to it.
Like
I was eating to the last episode.
I'm
It's fine.
generally fine. Generally fine. And then you get those bits where they do like the drool takes, and just like the way that they do spit and like drool is just so unappealing to me. I can't do it. I'm just like, I was eating cereal and I'm just not feeling it anymore.
I can eat to anything at this point, but there's that one spit take in the pilot, the first episode, that's like
Oh yeah, just
kind of
like
uncharacteristic of just how fucking far they take it.
Yeah, where he's just like over Morty, just like going off.
It's not.
It's overdone. Ugh.
That first episode is easily the worst.
Oh yeah,
although I think
for sure.
I think the best part of it is like that fucking creature they shoot out that then like comes alive and ages and then grows old and dies as they're running.
Yeah,
that's a great bit. Don't think about it.
Don't think about it.
That's a key to the Rick life.
Yeah. That's
the way that character lives. I mean, rolling with it it's bad. Stuff goes bad. Bad shit happens. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it's not always bad.
That's
Wait,
true.
in a more general context or in the show? Because in the show, it goes bad like 90% of the time.
Yeah, because if it didn't go bad, it would be like the Atlantis thing from this last season, where it's like they had a good adventure. That's not worth seeing.
Yeah, I don't want to be so worried about that.
That's not for you. That's for them.
Though I kind of would want to see this in Rick and Morty. I forget. You said you watch BoJack Horseman, right?
I do not.
You do
not watch
not.
BoJack.
Okay.
No, I don't watch very much TV.
That's fair. They did an episode in the 3rd season that was real good, where he has to go underwater, because you know the premise generally, right? Like animal people, real people, it's kind of whatever, and don't ask questions. So he goes underwater, and there's like all the ocean people, and they're like half fish or what have you. And they all, like, obviously the mammals have to wear the little helmet things, but you can't hear each other through them. Yeah. So he spent like the whole episode has no dialogue almost. So I don't know, it just worked really well, and I'm like, they could do a pretty solid like serious feels episode for Rick and Morty with something like that. I'm a big fan of that stuff where it's like 90% soundtrack and just animation.
Rick and Morty doesn't feel like that kind of show because it's so much about the writers. Like
I suppose
the animation is just like the thing that happens
there.
afterwards. It feels like
Yeah.
This isn't like most like the way Cartoon Network does most of its shows, like Adventure Time or Steven Universe. Those are like the storyboard artists or the writers. Those are very animation focused. Rick and Morty is clearly like their writers writing stuff, and then they send it off and like deal with this, I guess.
Yeah.
Like they've made episodes that like
is this what you got in the business for?
Yeah, the fucking season 2 premiere I think would like crash their animation software when they were running it with parts of that episode. When they were like they were showing all the different possible Ricks when they were desynced.
I had to go remind myself which one that was. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I just watched it.
But yeah, the first episode I was good. The second episode I was sold on the show though with the dog episode.
That's pretty much it.
So much happens. They just go all the way with their ideas. With the idea there, and they're juggling multiple ideas. It's really good. It's just really, it's like, okay, you guys have something here.
I think I mean I was sold before it, but the one that like knocked it out of the park for me was the Jurassic Park one, the amoeba park, because that's or no, wait, no, I was looking at the wrong one, and I'm an idiot. I'm like trying to talk and read things at the same time to make sure that I'm correct here. The one after that, the virtual reality, like Inception sort of deal, where
Yeah, the way that episode ends.
with Jerry, like Jerry is the best there. Like his little like the whatever, yeah, like
Yeah.
that, the music, and then like I don't just that whole bit with Jerry and the apples thing is fantastic. And
Yeah, I just like that. I like how they sell it with Rick of, like, how much did he know?
yeah, like
When
you're
did
never
he know it?
totally
Like-
certain.
Oh, also the fucking post-credit scene in that one is so good with him holding the knife to Morty's neck.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like this guy, he's like actually out of control. Like he has it together enough to get through these situations, but like nope.
yeah,
He's a wreck.
yeah.
It also just like a lot of it feels to me like they clearly pull a lot from Doctor Who, particularly when the president stuff.
Wow.
And it's just-
okay. You just killed all my interest in Rick and Morty.
But they're
did
like
it.
it's like Doctor Who with balls. Like they're willing to do stuff that Doctor Who just would never do because they don't
Okay.
have like I don't know pretensions to civility or like I mean Doctor Who would never do an episode where Doctor Who shat himself all over a room. That's not a thing that would happen.
I mean, okay, Doctor Who doesn't actually do TV. They just do stupid shit. I could spend a whole podcast rambling
you
about
have-
how much I hate Doctor Who, and none of it would be coherent or based in any facts. It would just be me hating something because I hate it.
have you watched any of it?
I have
actually?
tried, yes. And it was
There's
like
only actually one season I think is really good, and it's like the most different from the rest of it. So
I thought the Van Gogh episode was fine, but it was very clearly manufactured feelings. Like, we're not going to have character development here. We're just going to make the audience cry. That's the goal.
I mean, I don't really like when that show takes episodes for real people. That's always super masturbatory, and I don't like it.
Oh, yeah, it's I gave it my all. I gave it 2 whole episodes. Plus
who
some random one.
Who was the doctor when you were watching it?
Oh fuck! God, they all look alike. I want to say David
Was it-
Tennant.
Was it David Tennant?
I think so
Okay.
because
David
I
Tennant
remember
seasons were okay.
I remember the lady who was like 1,000 years old and just like a flat piece of skin. And the Van Gogh episode, and so it's all mostly blacked out.
I don't remember a Van Gogh episode in the David Tennant stuff. Whatever.
That might have not been David Tennant, but that was just one I like watched randomly because it was one of the
Gotcha.
better ones.
Well, I think modern Doctor Who after Tennant is actual garbage. So
Yeah, I haven't
with
heard
you on
about
any
anything
recent
about
stuff.
it in a good long while. I don't know. I have lots of problems with Doctor Who, but
I don't know. Apparently, they're changing the showrunner, so maybe it'll be good again. I don't know.
maybe it'll be live action Rick and Morty. Could you imagine?
No, that's
you
never.
imagine,
It's
though?
never.
Could you
It's
imagine?
never.
Someone just takes it
never
off
gonna
the
be that.
rails. It gets like 2 episodes into a last season and just gets kicked.
It's never gonna be that.
Like,
Never gonna be that.
yeah,
For
but just,
one, it's
but
like
just imagine.
closer to appealing to kids.
Okay, but imagine new season Doctor Who starts out with him passed out, like shit all over the table, literal shit all over the table, and just like goes from there. One and done. Series finale.
Series finale.
I mean, it would get canceled
Yeah, no.
like immediately.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
Rick and Morty though.
So there was actually I guess it's kind of topical, you know, Doctor Time Travel, whatever. Someone was talking about how, I mean, I guess are we getting into season 3 stuff now at this point? Should we go a little longer?
Yeah, we're gonna start getting into the deeper spoilers now.
All right.
Fair
So
warning has been given.
if you give a shit about spoilers, maybe tune out.
Yeah.
It's been good having you. If you don't come back.
Go watch it. come back or don't. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't care. Yeah, so in season 3, I think it was one of the later episodes where they get like pizza at the end, and Rick comes back and he's like, "Hey, this wasn't time travel. I just found the pizza laying on the counter and took it." I suppose that, okay, first off, just to confirm, because it hurts my brain a little bit, I suppose the time travel aspect would be him having to like make the pizza. Does that sound?
He wouldn't have to make the pizza if he time traveled. He would just find pizza in the past and steal it from the future.
Okay, I thought it was
or
weird.
steal pizza from the future and bring it to the past.
Yeah,
But they haven't really gone into time travel ever.
Yes,
on the
and that's
show.
what I was getting to. Like, that exchange hurt my brain because I'm like, I don't know why you needed to clarify this. And then everyone, I guess, on the subreddit was talking about how they threw it in there so no one could accuse them of doing time travel, because that's something that they haven't really dived into yet, if they're ever going to. Probably because it causes way too many holes to be found, I guess, or it just is hell to keep track of.
I mean, considering the ridiculousness of the multiverse stuff they're keeping track of, it wouldn't be that bad. But it would be harder to keep the sense of like Rick as a character if you're ever gonna find like a younger Rick or something, which I don't think they want to do. Time travel just seems like if they want to pull the lever, they could. But I like that they at least recognize that's a big thing to pull. Once you pull that, the way they go all the way with ideas they would do a lot with it, I think.
Yeah. But like, as you said, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
But someone did mention in the very first episode, like when Rick goes to get whatever, and there was some debate as to whether he lived a full life there somehow when he like went to get the stuff to fix Morty's legs, or if he was just an old man in general and was famous there. I'm pretty sure it was the latter, but it's the internet, so people were bitching about it, arguing.
Yeah, I don't know. They're cartoon characters. They're going to be the way they are forever. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is. Rick does often feel younger than he is as a grandpa. Like,
yeah.
He does not play old.
But I guess like
except occasionally they make a little use of it, but
I guess in like season 3 though, we find out that he has like some cybernetics, so you can basically just explain like, oh, okay, he has like science bones. That makes sense. That's why he can do all this shit.
He's a cartoon character. He can do a lot of things. He can explain a lot.
That's what I like about this as a cartoon. It's something I think maybe it came up a little bit back in the Spaghetti Cast days, just the idea of video games and cartoons. And it was something Peter had been talking about in one of his like script writing classes or something. Like, you don't always need to be realistic. Like, you don't need you don't need the Grand Theft Auto. Like, sometimes Saints Row 4 is okay. Like, you can beat people with a giant dildo. So you don't always need, like, I don't know.
There are things you
Cartoon
can't
X.
do. There are things you can't do in live action because they would be too expensive.
Or just
animate
like
them. Even live action movies are just animating that stuff at this point.
Or I mean, even that.
But like that just gives shows like this an avenue to explore stuff that hasn't been explored.
Yeah,
because like,
and even
TV
like,
hasn't been doing this stuff.
Even costs aside, like live action would probably make all of this. I don't think it would have gone as far because people would be horrified. Like, I don't know. Can you imagine a live
cartoon
action
characters
version?
can also
like,
do things other characters can't.
Yeah.
I think
like imagine
classic example just to me is just like that Homer Simpson sitting around in his underwear. It's just like that's fine.
Yep.
That's whatever. There's no bulge. It's fine.
Yeah, just perfectly fucking round. Yep.
He's just a circle. He's just a collection of circles.
I'm trying to think. I need to refresh my early season 3 here.
Yeah, so they started it with that basically tying up the cliffhanger in one episode, basically.
Yeah.
That was real good.
I
liked how much they resolved.
More importantly, they had the stupid Szechuan sauce bit. And like I feel like that was just in there to see if they could do it. Like,
oh yeah,
how much hype can we generate? Could we actually get a discontinued promotional sauce back from 1990 whatever?
And there were some writers who, missed that sauce. That's so. I mean, there was that fucking 3DS joke at one point they made that was just
solid
like
gold.
In the show. It's like, Nintendo, send me free stuff.
Nintendo, send me free stuff. Yeah, that was a great bit.
Yeah, I really liked with the finale, the Minecraft stuff they did. I really liked that they called it off with whatever South Park did it.
Yeah,
that's like
South Park already did it.
The classic thing.
Yep.
That now South Park is the new Simpsons did it.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's immediately what I thought of was the a South Park episode where it's like Simpsons did it.
Yeah. Look,
good
some
times.
Some of this ground has been trodden.
I mean, some of it has been trampled.
Yeah. That's the other thing. The Rick and Morty to me is that's interesting about it is like it's carved out a whole different sci-fi animated series space from what Futurama did. Like, it doesn't feel like it's overlapping. Like they did a good job of making sure they were distinct.
Oh yeah, certainly
that thing. Just in terms of like the kinds of stories they tell.
Yeah. So, in regards to philosophy, someone was pointing out that from a purely philosophical standpoint, Futurama tackles way more than Rick and Morty ever does. Which
I don't even know what that fucking means.
I don't know either. My mind is just so inferior. I can't keep up.
I mean, Rick and Morty, it's generally just like mental health stuff, honestly, is a lot of it. Just like, yeah, these people are sick. These are sick characters and they have problems. And we're going to explore these problems and they're not going to ever really solve their problems.
It's like a less...
They might change a little, but...
It's like a less arrogant Always Sunny. Part of me learning to enjoy that show was realizing that there was no character development. Like, they're all assholes, and that's just how it is.
They're monsters. I just remember that episode of Always Sunny where they're coaching kids basketball and, like, just having the kids fucking hurt each other.
Yeah, they're
like,
just
sticking
like,
fucking safety pins into their sweatbands.
Dude, it's so good.
Just fucking monsters. That is a show about monsters.
Yeah, it is. Someone was saying that they hope the series finale is them, like, us learning that they're all, like, ugly piles of shit. Because, like, Charlie and Frank are what they appear exactly as they are. Like, their image matches their characteristics, but, like, why shouldn't Mac be strong? Like, he's a pretty big dude. Why is Dennis, like, such a creepy, despicable dude? He's fairly attractive. Like, all this other stuff. So they're like, yeah, we're going to get to the series finale and everyone's just going to, like, reveal their inner selves to be their outsides, too. Which, I don't know. Maybe they're just dicks.
Yeah. I don't know. That just reminds me of the terrible Seinfeld finale. Where they send them to jail.
Yeah, dude.
Just like, no. Just fucking... Some things, you just let it lie. You don't need to.
Yeah, that was a weird finale.
It was weird because the episode before it is really good. But that finale is like, the worst. Nope, we lost it. You lost it. I've heard it reminds me of a thing I've heard Dan Harmon say about why he doesn't want to ever actually do Rick's origin story. That like the fake out we get at the beginning of season 3 is like kind of the closest they want to, because like the easiest way to ruin a character is to like just explain everything that makes them who they are.
Yeah,
It's like a really quick way to sap everything that's interesting out of a character.
because now you know exactly what it is.
Yep. It's better if there's mystery, like the Beth thing. Like maybe that's a clone of Beth. Maybe that's the real Beth.
And we still don't fucking know.
Well, yeah, they don't. The point of it is it's a mystery until they want to pull the cord of here's Beth, what she's been doing. Like until they actually want to pull that cord, and they may never want to. It's up in the air. Which is fine. The point, like the part of the point of that to me is like it doesn't matter unless they tell a story where it matters.
Yeah, and I just like how I feel like they're probably gonna do something with like evil Morty. Like we're going to get a continuation of it, but it's going to be a little blip in an episode next season, which was fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
they just like did a one-off shot of an evil Morty who apparently is like smart, and then we get a second little shot of that, and I need more. Where's my drug? Like,
Yeah,
but at
that's
the same
like
time, you can't just
the same
do...
point. That's one of those things that makes it super frustrating how long they take. It's like, because I want more of that, but like it's gonna take whatever how long it makes for them to make a new season, and then I'm gonna get like one episode, and it's gonna be not a like
Which is like
too
I prefer
fucking
that.
clever about a long running thing that's popular.
I'm way more into that than like, oh, we're just gonna do like a 6-episode arc and figure out what's going on, and then it's solved.
Then it would be ruined. Kind of. Like that story's interesting to me because that seems really actually hard to do well. So if they, assuming they would do it as well as they do a lot of other things, it would be impressive. But the build up makes it that much more dangerous, I would also say.
Oh yeah, like the longer you wait, or there's a bigger fall if they mess up.
I just want to know what happened to Drama Morty.
Drama Morty. Oh,
I just want to know what happened to his story.
I mean,
in the garbage dimension.
The garbage. I don't know. Could you? Oh, they'll probably bring it. What if they bring it back? It plays a key role somehow.
I feel like, yeah.
I do enjoy how we went back to I can't Cronenberg dimension. And like just saw Summer, Beth, and Jerry.
Yeah, it's interesting going back to that because it feels like a throwback in that like the show was way more careless about whatever the fuck it was doing than I feel like it is now. Like I just feel like the way season 3 ends is like, yeah, if it was season 1 Rick, like they would just be gone again. Like it would just be over. But like the way they're thinking about this show and the characters in it, like, no, we're not going to do that again.
I was real worried that they were gonna like repeat the season 2 finale and just have Rick go off on his own for some reason, and I'm really glad that they didn't.
Yeah, I like that he was ready to do it because of the squirrel thing.
Yeah,
that was with squirrels. Now we have to leave.
Fucked with squirrels.
To me, I can. I don't even.
It wasn't even like a whole episode. It was just
no. That was Morty's Mind Blowers.
Right, it was one of the memories.
That felt like. That also felt like the progress of like. Instead of having Justin get drunk and riff a bunch of stuff and then we'll animate it, we're gonna make an episode out of all the shit we wrote and then threw away because it wasn't enough for an episode.
Yeah,
is what that felt like.
I like how Summer is casually involved now. Just like, oh really shit, good. This is a situation 4. Just like. Also, that was good. I don't know what episode it was, and I feel like the episode list on Wikipedia is not going to have it, but they openly reference Reddit in one episode, and that, and like the big excuse me, the big, I don't know, bit line that they had was like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous and it's great, but I don't want to be hearing this. Like, I don't want some random dude to call me a Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's probably gonna happen someday though. Like, I'm gonna be playing Heroes or something, and someone's gonna be like, got ourselves a bunch of cone. Oh, I can't talk. Stone Cold Steve Austins. Some cone stole.
I don't think that'll happen. I don't think that joke lands well enough.
I don't know. Jabroni took off.
That's for actual wrestling fans, though. You can't compare.
Are actual wrestling fans actually wrestling fans?
No. In general, they're former wrestling fans, from what I can tell, because I feel like, there are people who actually like wrestling, I feel like. But I do feel like the people I can actually tolerate listening to who talk about wrestling are mostly people who hate wrestling. So, I don't know.
That sounds about accurate, yeah.
But there are definitely people who genuinely like it. I just don't get it.
Man, I thought Fruity Land was a pretty crazy episode.
It was good. It was good
it
to
was
say, like,
good.
I liked the realness of going, Beth, you were a fucked up kid.
Yeah,
there we
go.
go.
It was just like, this was the alternative. I didn't create it so you had it to play in. I created it so you would, like, not kill anyone.
Oh, the fucking make babies and then I eat them. The fucking play. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we get it. We understand. Come on.
It's just unbelievable.
I like the symmetry of his dad being accused of cannibalism. Thought that was good.
And then he's just like, yeah.
That guy.
It's like a family
he
thing.
was ruined. Yeah. There was no bringing that guy back. that guy was gone. Some roads you can't come back from.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's oh my god. Just again, like, it's not gonna happen in live action.
Nope.
I just feel like probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. I don't know, man. Hannibal was popular. Game of Thrones is popular. There's like, you could find your room in there. I don't know. I just feel like live action sex stuff is weird, but people have weird hang-ups.
Live action bestiality cannibalism is, I don't know that people are ready for that one yet. It's like, some episodes would probably be just fine, but when they get, like, can you imagine a live action version of the ass dimension?
I mean,
just imagine it. Just picture it. Picture it in your mind's eye.
I've seen the Baby Got Back video.
The what? A Baby Got Back video? It's just not the same. It's just really not the same.
It's not?
Two different kinds of ass dimensions, my friend.
I don't know. He stands on a giant butt. I'm just saying. It might be foam, but...
You mean they didn't actually find a huge ass?
They didn't, like, superimpose the video of someone's butt onto someone standing on it, no.
Oh, get the green screen.
And I guess, like, America wasn't ready for the follow-up, Put 'Em on the Glass, which had a video where bare breasts. America wasn't ready. Also, it wasn't a good song.
Yeah. Though, possibly the best thing to ever come out of the former song there is when Vanilla Ice ended up doing his reality TV show, The Vanilla Ice Project, and all of the titles of the episodes were 10 out of 10. So you got Baby Got Backyard because he would just like do landscaping.
Look, the best thing Vanilla Ice ever did was ice skate to Ice Ice Baby on some ice skating competition show.
Oh,
That happened.
that happened?
Yes, there's video
Jesus.
evidence. It's amazing.
Wow. And people
I
say
love-
he's a one-hit wonder.
I also love the all the weird covers he did of Ice Ice Baby over the years. To like, as the times changed, to like he did a new metal cover of it. It's fucking
Jesus.
God. Oh man, it's a thing.
That actually sounds pretty terrible.
It's bad. Yeah. And Ice Ice Baby is like, I love that song, but like, I mean, the beat is garbage. I don't understand how it can get sued for being under pressure when they took out everything that was good about the under pressure beat. Now, the remixes that put them together, I'm all about that. I'm all about that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're handed something on a golden platter, you take it.
It just works. It just works. You have elements of a good song and you have elements of garbage. Just like Rick and Morty.
Hey,
Bring it back
you brought it
around.
back. You fucking circled. There it is. I was waiting for it. I'm like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna like brand like into the Get Swifty episode? Like, what are we doing with this? We can bring it back. It's just where's the
Yeah.
perfect segue?
So what do you think your favorite episode of this season was?
Oh, of this season?
Yeah.
All right.
Just
I'm just like, I need a quick
Yeah.
recap.
yeah. Or if you have a quicker one for the previous 2 seasons, I will
I
also
don't.
take that. Okay.
Also,
That's
no.
fair. That's fair. There are a lot of good episodes.
There are. That's the thing. Like, okay, It's certainly not. It's certainly not the interdimensional cable ones.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they're good, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I guess I
They're
don't
silly.
care. Yeah, like there's not enough. I guess from season 2, probably the Morty Night run. The assassin Moonmen song, interdimensional, whatever.
Yeah.
That's probably from season 2. That'd be my favorite.
Or Morty has to learn that he will kill
Ye-
something.
Yeah.
It's to learn to accept to be a murderer. Because it's...
I think in the first season, probably still the virtual reality episode.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that, it's just the Jerry bits are way too solid. And like, I mean, obviously the Rick and Morty part of it is great too, but just like,
Yeah. That one's real good. I really like that one. One of the through lines I noticed was like a lot of episodes when I was just trying to think of episodes that like spoke to me. A bunch of them ended up being written by the same person. Which
okay.
is Tom Kaufman. He wrote the that episode. He wrote the simulation episode. He co-wrote the finale of season 1.
All right.
He wrote Get Swifty. He wrote the season 2 finale, and he wrote the Toxic Rick episode of this season.
Okay.
Which I think is my favorite from this season. Is the Toxic Rick one? I think that's the one for me. Because I just really liked that. I really like the combination of Toxic Rick being the angry belligerent, but also having all the feelings,
Yeah, like those are
the vulnerabilities.
Yep.
Oh man, when Rick just fucking shoots Toxic Morty in the leg, just fucking no thought. It's so good. It's like, oh, I don't have any feeling for humans at all. I don't give a shit.
I don't even know what my favorite episode from season 3 is.
That's fair. It's pretty recent.
It's recent and like just from a first watch through, like they were all very solid.
Mm-hmm. Like the ones that stick out to me as I probably don't care as much about are like the Mad Max
Yeah,
episode.
that one was all right, but it wasn't. That is not my favorite episode.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's sandwiched between the premiere, which is really good, and Pickle Rick, which is a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
As much as I hate that meme, and then Vindicators 3 also.
Vindicators 3. I wasn't a huge fan of the episode, but
yeah,
the one like the god damn, like that was a good bit. I appreciated that bit just because it's fun to say. Like that's 100 times better than Pickle Rick to yell out. Like here's someone getting burned in public. Just god damn. It feels good. Pickle Rick just like I can feel the neckbeard coming in a little bit.
My problem with Vindicators 3 is I just don't think it's great as superhero parody. I've seen a lot of that stuff. And
yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that. Like,
and it never weighs like Rick is never in like any threat. Like Morty comes around to his side, is like, yeah, you're right, like super early, and just Rick is a piece of shit. Like that's like the whole episode, and I saw it explained somewhere. It's just everything comes together too quickly, and then you have like half the episode left where it plays out, and like the thing you get is, oh, Rick caring about Noob instead of Morty. Ha 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 ha.
See, I think my main beef with that episode was actually that it was set up too much. I had to pause it partway through and legitimately wonder if I had missed something. Because it wasn't just like, oh, it's this random guy. They could have just done like a random bit like, oh, it's this one thing we did that one time, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So
I like the joke of this is Vindicators 3 and Rick and Morty weren't even were there for Vindicators 1 but missed Vindicators 2. I kind of like that joke.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The problem is you know nothing about the Vindicators. They're whatever. So when seeing them turn evil is like, okay, that's who they are. Like you don't have a thing to contrast with of
exactly.
Like there's no image to be broken. You kind of assume they're going to be shit because Rick says they're shit and you trust Rick is like trustworthy on this kind of thing. Most people are shit is a general thing in Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
It's generally good to assume that people aren't as if they seem super good, they're probably not. They're probably flawed. People are flawed. Wow. What an amazing idea. Character flaws.
It's absurd. How dare they? First off, how dare they?
I find it funny though that they put out like promo information about fucking World Ender. They put out like a promo video about how important he was going to be.
And then just
like, nope. Because he wasn't. He was never going to be important. Even like I went back and watched that. I've only watched it after the fact, and it's clear like they don't give a shit about that. Like they don't sell it very well in that video. Even I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
He's like he's so badass. Yeah. Okay.
Man.
Okay.
I think I forgot that the Toxic episode, Toxic Rick and Morty or whatever, is the same episode where they like get back from the adventure that lasted like 6 days or whatever.
That's a good opening. That's
it's so good.
Just
opening. Like them breaking down.
They're just so stressed out. After like I like that they go through the fucking like award ceremony. And then it's after that. Just fucking break. It's also always good when you see Rick just like
I can't do it anymore.
He's just shaking.
Yeah, just like
and
totally gone.
That one's also weird to me just because it's weird in comparison to then later in the season you get Morty's mind blowers. Like that one, that was fine. That was a keeper.
Yeah.
That wasn't too stressful. They were like actually completely burned out.
Man, I think Morty's Mind Blowers was real good though. Like I enjoyed that far more than Interdimensional Cable. Maybe because it had a bit more of a theme on it.
My one problem with it is I couldn't see beyond the artifice of them going, these are ideas. This is like things we wrote and then decided not to use. And like, because also there's a joke at the end that's like framing it as like, this is the kind of stress they go through writing the show.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to like see it just as an episode of TV. Like I was too much kind of seeing it as a metaphor for the way they write it or whatever. It was my only.
I'm trying to remember
didn't quite work at a narrative level.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There was the one, like, because they had the section of memories that Rick wanted to erase. What was do you remember what line it was? Like the one where he just fucked up whatever phrase? Just like, you've been saying it wrong for so many years. Just like deletes the memory.
Yeah, he just deletes. I like that he deletes everything when he doesn't seem cool.
Yeah, like he's just lame or whatever, so he deletes it. And then all of Morty's shit that he deletes is like traumatizing.
Yeah. Rick is
good
shit. Look, it's very much about his image. It's part of his hubris. His full,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's also like what makes him a popular character.
Because he's so cool and smart.
He's so cool and smart and a monster and
someone
a demon.
Someone
I like when
talking...
he yells. I love whenever he yells. You don't know what the fuck I am.
You don't know what the fuck I am. Yeah, I mean, it's true though. Like we got no clue. And the whole last episode just referring to him as a living god.
Yeah. I love all the, I also really like all the Ricks who have picked a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a plumber, sir. Plumber Rick.
Plumber Rick, yep.
Yeah, that Rick has to fucking pretend to be a fly fishing Rick at the end of the season. That's good. It's a good bringing him low.
Mm-hmm. I was so confused by like the Citadel episode of like, I suppose, they can lean on the whole infinite dimensions. Like some of the Ricks must just be, I guess, more gullible, more whatever. Like, why would a fucking Rick be doing a bitch ass office job? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's more to like, it's them just going, okay, there's a society of Ricks. Well, we'll just fill in the roles of society with Ricks and Mortys. That's just how it ends up working. But like the whole point of Rick's thing against the Citadel is Ricks are against rules, but then Ricks set up a bunch of rules to like protect themselves or whatever. But it's just the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's just another government.
You've just folded it back in on itself weirdly.
Mm-hmm.
Not even government, just like system of society.
Yeah.
It is like, I mean, really, they're just playing on like city crime stories. They're just riffing on it, is why that stuff is like that. But
oh yeah, like 100%. I thought the Citadel bit in the season premiere was great though. Just teleports it into the whatever station.
Yeah. I love how fast it moves of Rick like getting from one place to another, how casually he is, and how he leaves everywhere saying he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think I watched that opener because they were just looping it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I probably watched it like 4 times that night. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm cool it's been a couple years. I'm cool going through this.
Yeah. I really am looking forward to the episode commentary, the DVD coming out, and the episode commentaries on these episodes.
Nice.
Because, like I've said, I've listened to all of those a couple times, just because I really like them, and they do a good job of like talking about the stuff they did and why they did it and what they're like frustrated by and stuff. I think they're good. They're good commentaries.
Yeah, that might be something I'll have to look into. I never got around. It's not something I ever thought of because I don't have the DVDs of Rick and Morty per se.
I mean, neither do I. Most of those, I pulled those off YouTube. Someone was putting them all up. I was like,
I mean, I
right.
figured that's where they were, but I just like, if
Yeah.
I don't see them there, I don't think about it.
It was also a funny thing where with the season where they were streaming every episode and then they decided to cut it off. But then when they cut the message they put out on Adult Swim that was cutting it off was like, we know you'll see it elsewhere, whatever.
Yeah,
It's fine.
don't worry
And then
about this.
they don't seem to have gone after any of the pirated streams. It just seemed to me like they didn't feel like putting in the work to moderate a stream and run it for the whole season.
Yeah,
They just decided, people will see it.
because
I'm sure that they've realized like the way they make money on that stuff is just it's popular, and like they make money off other shit that's not people watching the show.
Yep.
Because, I mean, it's also like it's like music. Like you just want people to get it. Like the way culture works now, you want people to expose it so it gets popular. It's like not rigidly controlling that stuff is.
Oh yeah, like for
Your
sure.
ability to actually profit off of that is limited.
I mean, I haven't bought a CD in quite a long time, but I'll throw down $30 for a shirt for a group that I like or whatever. Or
Yeah.
if I actually did not live in like Bumblefuck, Wisconsin, I would go to concerts now and again. We don't get much people up here.
What?
I mean, there was a wonderful, I missed it sadly, but there was a traditional Austrian polka band
Nice.
that showed up in town.
I mean, you got so much room though out there. Just
Yeah, you could
free
have
land.
you could have like 800 Woodstocks in like just my town.
Yeah, there have been Woodstocks that go bad though. I don't know if you want to hold Woodstocks.
I mean, the big joke has been like, so my family has more land than they should because my like great grandpa was a farmer. So we have all this farmland and none of us are farmers. But like we rent it out to people so it doesn't just like sit there and go to waste. But the running joke has been like, oh, we're just going to sell it to like a nuclear power company and they can put up some plants. The town won't like it, but
Fuck them.
yeah, like, you know, we're trying to better the world.
That's fair. Just trying to think of
Content,
Anything-
so people
anything-
don't just get
yeah.
bored listening to.
anything else about the season or Rick and Morty before we call it, since we've been going for about an hour.
I don't know. I think I'm good. I guess I'm still just like the unbelievable amount of people that suddenly sprang up who were like, "I'm so smart. I watch Rick and Morty."
Yeah, that's
It's
gross.
still
Those
just
people are dumb,
real
and
annoying.
gross,
Yeah,
and bad.
especially
they
I
make
guess
people
just because like
not
some of
wanna
them
do
were
things.
people I thought were cool. Like this happens.
I find people are bad at liking things together. It's hard to do it without
Yeah.
being a piece of shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's. It's just That's what it is.
I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for
Just
fandom
why?
and
Just
humanity.
why?
But
I
come
mean,
on, guys,
Yeah. It's.
calm the fuck down.
I wonder if I still would have. I probably still would have watched it after a certain point, but I wonder if I would have watched it as soon or as enthusiastically as I did if I would have encountered more of that side of the fan base first. Because that shit affects me. Like, that was, being real, that was probably what made me initially start hating Doctor Who. Like, there was a long period of hate before I actually tried it. And,
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's a good chunk of, like, Undertale. Like, I just cannot stand that fan base. And I guess Steven Universe fan base is pretty stupid, but I don't encounter them somehow ever, so I don't mind, I guess.
The secret is that, like, every fan base is kind of shit.
Hey,
So,
that's
like,
not
the
true.
more currently popular a thing is, the worse it's going to be, generally.
That is not true at all.
Oh. What have I wrong? How have I offended you?
The PUBG fan base is nothing but calm, collected, wonderful
Fucking kidding
people.
me?
Possibly the top minds of our generation.
I don't know. Those people just like a video game.
It's funny because I don't even play PUBG.
PUBG
No,
is
it's trash.
fine. It's a
it's
fine video game.
It's like Payday 2 was back when we played it. It's trash, but it's fun trash.
It's more like, you know, Arma for people who aren't cool enough to play Arma.
That also is a description for it, yeah.
It's like this more arcadey mode rather than a more, you know, unstructured thing, more open in the server.
It's a game. That's the thing. Arma's not a game.
You're right. Arma's not a
People
game.
fuck up
It's
and think
people
it's
who
a
want
game.
a fucking game. It's for people who want a fucking game. But I think that's it.
Yeah, that's a good note to end on.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Ty.
Yeah. Shout out to Ty who taught us all that Arma.
It's not a fucking game.
It's not a fucking game at all.
Well,
do we need to do
peace.
Twitter?
Oh yeah.
Twitter shout outs?
We need to do sign outs.
I don't know
sign outs.
I didn't know if that was an every episode thing or
No, that's an every episode thing. I just fucked up. It's fine.
That's fair.
You can email us at saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us at soundcloud.com/saltcircle. At Twitter, at saltcirclepod. You can find me on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm on Twitter at bean_LP.
Yeah.
For now.
And we still don't have our intro yet, so I'm not going to.
Well, we'll have it by the time this is up.
All right, so
if someone didn't make one, I'll steal
stuff. Okay. Something will happen.
Props to whoever made the intro.
Props to whoever made the intro. Thanks a lot. All right. I'm gonna stop my recording.